Okay, so this is my 40-gallon fish tank. It's actually a acrylic 37-gallon tank, but they market it as a 40-gallon. Start from the top and work our way down. We've got pothos that's growing out of that bowl right there, and it's grown. It started out as about a 6 to 12 inch cutting, grew all the way up that, all the way across, part way down, and then all the way back across, and that was less than a year, probably 6 months of growth doing that. I did have it in the tank most of that time, but the roots just started taking over, and so I had to pull it out. Lighting is Baco work lamps, clamp work lamps from Lowe's. They start out looking like this. It's kind of an ugly clamp. So I dismantled that, and I got some chain and S-hooks to hang them. It was really easy to do. They're hung from a old curtain rod, which I've got on a stand that's adjustable with these holes. I can go as close as right above, which is right almost resting on the tank, to about a foot above the tank. In the lamps there's 23 watt Sylvania compact fluorescent bulbs in each one. So in this bowl there's a cherry shrimp and some pond snails, lots of algae for it to eat, as you can see, but it's been doing pretty well. I'm surprised the shrimp's actually lasted as long as he has in there. In the tank itself, I made a little floating raft held by a suction cup, and I've got some various plants that I've collected, and peace lily, and whatever that plant is with the yellow spots on the leaves growing out. They're just so that the roots are dangling into the water. Then I've got lucky bamboo. I found some really tall pieces of it at Lowe's, so the leaves would be out of the water, yet the roots and everything is down in the tank. On top of the water we've got Sylvania, duckweed, and azolla. And then I've got water lettuce as well. I just got the water lettuce. My thinking there is I want to try to get rid of the duckweed as much as possible to and get something that's a little more easy to take care, keep under control. And water lettuce, is much bigger, so it should be much easier to control. This is a piece of driftwood sticking out that I picked up at a store, fish store. And I've got terrestrial moss growing on top of it, and then whatever that little plant is, and which has actually got some grass growing out of it now. The moss I picked up around the house, and this I picked up on a walk. Looks pretty cool. Starting to look pretty cool. I'm excited about it. It's doing really well. Let's see what it looks like from this point of view. Almost like a little island. Inside the tank we have a substrate that is pool filter sand in the front, although you can't really tell now because the loaches have pushed so much gravel up to the front. There's a divider wall of rocks. In the back behind that is Miracle Grow Organic Choice potting mix. It's about an inch and a half of potting mix, capped by an inch and a half of very small size pea gravel, and that provides a really great growing substrate for the plants. Plants I have in there is Java fern on some driftwood, dwarf hairgrass, whatever that is there, I can't remember the name, lots of crypts, brown and just standard green. In the back there's Blixa and Anubias on the driftwood, and then there's also some Java fern that I thought I had gotten rid of, but you can't really see it, but it's on there on the driftwood. inhabitants are red cherry shrimp, red cherry shrimp. I've got a pretty decent colony in there. Cherry barbs and harlequin rasboras, and the loaches, of course. I've got, I think, 8 cherry barbs, 6 harlequin rasboras, and 5 of the loaches. But I hardly ever see them, but I guess they're still alive. Oh, I just noticed I have one more plant. There's a tiger lotus bay there. I got a little baby that came off that I replanted, and then the original mother plant is back there. The tank has been set up for about either about a year or just over a year. And changes I'd like to make would be get rid of the Belixa and replace with some other crypt species, and then get some more Anubis to plant on the driftwood. Filtration wise, I've got a canister Odyssey filter, Odyssey 4, and a Penguin 900 power head. The power head mainly is there to provide a flow, although I've got a sponge on it, which I guess is a little more filtration, but the flow from it is to go across the front of the tank, around the big driftwood, and then into the intake of the filter, or circle all the way around. And I've got the spray bar for the filter, of course, angled towards the front as well, just trying to create circular flow around that driftwood, because it creates such a barrier and a dead spot back in the corner where those rasboras are. I usually try to do a weekly or every 2-week water changes. I've really fallen off on that. I've got a 7-month-old, or 8-month-old actually, so it's really difficult to keep up with that. And I usually also try to do EI dosing with the dry ferts and Excel dosing. I've gotten a lot of black brush algae in here now, and I think not doing the fertilizing routine and the Excel routine has hurt me and provided more of an opportunity for that black brush algae to grow. So I need to get back into that and hopefully fight that back. That's about it for that tank, I guess.